This is a hell of a lot of blast. On that note, welcome everyone. We have take two live from Twitch. I am going to be going over my League Start Atlas strategy, all things Atlas. What I'm planning to do, it's actually quite simple and remarkably similar to what I did last league, and it's because what I did last league in part was the first time I ever did it, and I kind of garbled it up a little bit, but you know, putting the pieces together, I realized that I had stumbled onto an absolutely amazing strategy that I mean, pretty much everyone can replicate. If you can make it to endgame maps, if you can make it to tier 16 maps, you can absolutely replicate this because it's a zero investment strategy. And this, my friends, right here, what you're looking at is the final Atlas tree that I used for my zero investment Exarch Altar Wandering Path farming strategy. Made a total video on that. I'll link that in the description below. It had over 100,000 views. A lot of views for a video on my channel. Widely received, positive reception, so you can take that to the bank. Very, very good video. And I said then, next league, I'm doing this. I'm basically issuing a challenge to myself. We're gonna go like 0 to Mage Blood, basically right off the bat. I usually try to like find some niche strategy or something to get ahead of the game. Maybe, you know, farm boxes early, farm Chayula breaches early, farm Legion early, magic find early. But this time, man, we're going straight to the roots, and it is all zero investment farming. This is the strategy from last time. Ready? Magic trick. Boom. This is the strategy this time. All right, so here we go. This is the same strat, and as you can see, it's focused entirely on maps, adjacent map drops, map duplications, mapped higher tier chance, and a little bit of heist stuff. And the reason the heist stuff is there is just because I don't want to spend any time doing any league mechanics. But I have extra points left over. I could throw them on the top row, but I probably just want to make the game easier on myself. I'm not doing 8-mod corrupted maps, so I don't feel like I'm getting huge value out of the increased effective modifiers non-unique map, but I might change that. I might change my mind on that. For now, I like the idea of doing heists in the first few days, getting a bunch of blueprints, contracts, stuff they will sell pretty well, or they should anyway. And, you know, we get in here for some quant and rarity just because it's there and it's easy access. It's nice, clean tree. It's got 6 points left over. That's exactly the number of points that you would have if you did 0 of the boss invitations for Maven. Feared, formed, all of that stuff, okay? You do all like the map boss invitations, and you do all the unique maps. I'll basically get through all of that. Probably might have to purchase a couple of unique maps if I can't get the singular focuses to drop, or singular scouting reports to drop. Basically, I'm going to be able to do everything myself, though, otherwise. So it's pretty awesome. And this is the final tree, and I'm going to show you now what it looks like to progress through it. And then we'll talk a little bit about the maps, because we do have a list of maps. We don't see the tree, but we get to see the map tiers. So some explaining will need to be done there. So yeah, that is all things Atlas completion strategy, and it's basically going to sum up how I'm going to farm a Mage Blood. Hopefully very quickly at league start. Be very simple. So let's reset the tree. Voila, I finished the campaign. Yay, in probably about 8 hours, knowing me. But when I get to maps and we start maps, we're going to go to the left. Our goal is to get to Wandering Path ASAP by taking all the most premium nodes possible, and boom, that's the path I'm going to do right here. This will set you up. Checkpoint number 1. Get up to Wandering Path ASAP. Don't waste around. Don't hit any notables. You want to duplicate the chance for these small nodes right away. Okay? Then priority number 2 is basically the higher tier map drop chances. Well, we have 2 points right there. Okay, this is kind of a new location for them, but that's a pretty big deal. And then we have some more points here in the middle. Now, unfortunately, we have to waste 1 point. I think there's a grand total of 1 point totally wasted. I have to go through one of these gateways to get there. But anyway, we'll kind of do that here. And then we have a few more here, so we will go ahead and hit that up. And because I'm right here, right now, I think I will go ahead and take Keurig Mission Chance. This is the one thing that I will plug in and then remove later on. It's good to get extra Keurig Master missions when you complete the map, especially in white maps and yellow maps, because you can keep cycling them through and finishing some maps that you're missing, and they can spawn, presumably, I know with the regular scouting report, but maybe if you just like if it just resets on its own, it can spawn unique maps. Don't quote me on that, but either way, it's going to be good for the straightforward map completion. All right, then you'll see, and it helps actually if we type in the search bar, this is going to show us the higher tier maps. We got one way over here in the middle of nowhere, and we got these up top here. So I think it would be smart, okay, to do this probably in that order. And then basically it's like 7 points to get here anyway, but we want to stay on the bottom because the bottom, the most premium nodes with the adjacent map drop chance, they are the next stage of priority. So, you know, the higher tier map drop, most prioritized, then the adjacent map tier drop. So however we can get there, which, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I think it's the same either way. We're going to do something like this. Was map sustain bad early on? It's a question in the chat. It's a good question. The only time I had any issues with this, with any map sustain issues at all, was, I would say, as odd as it sounds, late white maps. That was coincidentally the time my build was the weakest because it was having some issues with, like, I wouldn't even like resist cap. So I do recall white maps, particularly like tier 3, 4, 5, was kind of the most challenging time that I had with my build of all times. That's including the yellow maps, red maps, altar farming, everything. So that was kind of a critical moment in my progress. So keep in mind that might be a little bit issue, but yeah. Okay, so we get there. And we've now done all the higher tier map chance. I neglected to mention, or I did mention, but I should probably say the next priority is not necessarily the adjacent map drop chance, but the Keurig mission chance. And so let's go ahead and type Keurig. And these ones here on the right, they do not help us here. We're just trying to get the Keurig missions. So that would be down here and up here. So it looks like the fastest thing to do would be here. And I'm kind of doing this in order so you can see, follow along with the order I'm working things here. And it flipped up wrong there. Okay, so that's a good nether checkpoint. So now I've got Wandering Path. I've got all the higher tier map chance. I have unlocked all of the Keurig mission chance at the end. Now what's next is adjacent. And you can kind of see, like, there's a very formulaic way of going about this. Now it doesn't even matter what order I take things. We're just getting them here. Easy, just getting every single one that's missing. It really is nice when I can search them this way. Okay, that should be all of them except these here on the side. Of course, we'll have to blow a few points. These are good points too because they'll be next in the priority list is the map duplicated nodes. They're not super impactful, but they are kind of nice. Okay, then I think we are ready. I take that back. Actually, I like item quantity a little better than duplicated map nodes. So we're going to go in and finish that here. So finish that. We'll go inside. Who doesn't like a little bit of rarity for almost nothing? Chance to spawn in essence is okay. But, you know, just to reaffirm in case you hadn't got the message yet, I'm not doing any league mechanics. In fact, I'm so not doing any league mechanics, I'm not even going to spend 1 point on Stream of Consciousness. That's how much I'm not doing any league mechanics. Sounds kind of crazy. But, you know, you could do that if you wanted to. And you also could take the shrine nodes. I think shrine would be good too. Like some people might want to do, what is, I guess it's 3 chaos investment per map by going shrines every map. That's fine. That's cool. You can do that. I want to keep this as clean as possible for the community's sake and do a true like 0 investment strategy. I'll invest in my build, you know, but as far as like investing in maps and stuff, I'm not going to do anything there. Okay. Now I'm working on the duplicated map nodes. Kind of going one at a time. This thing's got some pretty bad APIs. You can see over here once you go through here. Okay, we're going up here. I think we're almost done with that. And now I am really juicy. This is, you know, red tier maps right here, getting into red tier maps. I mean, I'm dropping maps right and left. Just absolutely crazy dropping maps. Not necessarily dropping the maps I need to run, but I'm just dropping maps like crazy. I can start selling maps. I can start combining 3-to-1 maps like easily. I'm going to have like so many maps, just 3-to-1 all day long, and constantly dropping adjacent maps, the same map over again, duplicated map. It feels good. When you get your Atlas to here, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, you just drop anything. You don't have to do league mechanics. You don't have to boost up the map. anything, you're going to be dropping maps all the time. All right, so when we get done with that, we're going to be going for a little bit of heist love. The reason I'm going for heist is because, you know, it's just a little bit of free currency. It can be a little annoying to sell things with it, but it is like the one league mechanic that takes essentially no time at all. It won't cost any investment at all. So, you know, pick the order. I'd probably pick the one that would spawn the smuggler's stash first. And, you know, there is another point here to take, but I can't take it, I'm afraid, because I need 2 more points here at the very end to get growing hordes. And the zero investment strategy will include throwing some rusted scarabs, which will drop globally occasionally, and throw those in whenever I want to. Oops, I forgot. Okay, yeah, singular focus. Right. And that's weird. That gave me 5 points here. Okay, I don't know. Take 1 point out somewhere. Maybe that one. Okay, I might have messed that up by 1 point. It's okay. So I know I'm going to have like 6 points to spare. So it's going to look something like this. You know, Wandering Path is in there. Growing Hordes is in there. A bunch of high stuff is in there. Straightforward things. Yeah, singular focus. I remember now. Yeah, duh. Sorry, I forgot. What I meant to say earlier is that we're going to be kicking out Kirik. Okay, I actually forgot about that for a second. So let's go back to here. At this point right here, I'm going to spec out of Kirik, okay? So I'm basically done right here. And at this point, you know, I'll have a whole bunch of extra Kirik master missions. They're going to help me finish my Alice as well. And I'm basically just going to drop out of all the Kirik stuff. Okay, and then, you know, we'll get the Growing Hordes. Woo! And we got 12 points left. We got to go Exarch, right? Got to go Exarch. And honestly, like, you might be doing Exarch earlier. At whatever point you get into tier 4, like the second you get into tier 4 maps, to tier 14 maps, you need to start filling out this Exarch stuff. Okay, can't quite remember exactly where it was. So there might be like one tiny little point differential. I thought I pulled a point out of this here. But anyway, this is the left side block. Somebody said in the chat. League block. I don't know. We'll leave it there. This is about right. It might be a tiny bit off from what I had originally, but anyway, you can keep that all you want there. The important thing is we got all the important stuff. We got some heist on the side. Heist is the least important stuff for this. But this is the beautiful Atlas tree that is going to make me go from nothing to all the way to a Mage Blood, farming roughly 3 to 5 divines an hour, plus some jackpot divination cards off of the Exarch special card drops that occasionally happen. And we'll see. I'm going to look forward to kind of tallying all that up. I'll definitely come out with a 100 maps farming session like ASAP next league, because it'll be easy to set up. I don't need to invest anything to set it up. So there it is. Let's now try and figure it out. If we can, what maps are we going to do? All right, so if you watched the zero investment strategy video from last time, you'll have noticed that I ran with 1 Watchstone, not 2, 1 Watchstone. Now I'm going to farm my first 2 Watchstones. I'm going to skip the other 2 Watchstones. I'm going to save time. I'm not going to do Uber Elder. I'm not going to do Maven. I'm just going to do my Quest Eater, Quest Exarch, and unlock 6 favorited slots with singular focus. In the case of this past league, I favorited 4 jungle valleys and 2 beaches, and ping pong between a tier 14 beach and a tier 15 jungle valley. I did for a hot second there have them both at T16 with 2 Watchstones in. You would think that would have resulted in something better, but for some reason the drops seem to happen less. I seem to get less maps. I actually had some maps where I didn't get any drops. But if they were of different tiers and adjacent maps, I don't think they ever didn't drop. I don't think there was ever a situation where the maps didn't drop. Actually, somebody's probably going to ask me, you know, do you really need 140% chance for a monster in each of your maps to drop an additional connecting map? Can't you just stop with 100? Yeah, I suppose you can, but I'm pretty sure, and, you know, if somebody can confirm this, I think you actually get, like, chance to drop more maps. I noticed I get, like, a second round of drops. I am under the impression that it's, like, 100% chance to drop a map and then 40% chance to drop an adjacent map again. Could be wrong about that, but, you know, kind of testing things out, but not really thoroughly. Same story with the tier 16s or tier 14, tier 15 flip-flop. So I'm going to probably go for 2 adjacent maps that are good, fast, and that are different tiers. So either tier 14, 15, or tier 15, tier 16. Now, the problem with only unlocking 2 watchstones, which, I mean, you can unlock more. You can buy the carries or do the other bosses if you want. But the problem with doing only 2 watchstones is it basically disqualifies all map tiers under 7. Because when you put in your first watchstone, you get a bonus 3 tiers to it. It goes from a 7 to 10. When you put in the second watchstone, it's a bonus 4 tiers. Third watchstone, 4 tiers. Fourth watchstone, 4 tiers. So it's 3, 4, 4, 4. That's how you go from tier 1 to tier 16. You can check that right now if you want, plugging it in. So basically with 2 watchstones, I need at least a tier 7. Now I did notice there are some decent maps in here. Now this is not the Atlas. I can't see what's connected, but I can at least get a sense of what might look good here. So, you know, I mean, I do see some nice things here like Strand and Bog near each other. Mesa is down here. Dunes is down here. Beach is down here. There's some good stuff down here. So, you know, maybe a strategy with 3 or 4 watchstones is viable there. But for the sake of this video, I'm really only concerned with tier 7 and 8 because I don't even want to bother with buying carries. I'm trying to get that Exarch Altar bubblegum currency farm as fast as possible. So I'm just going for tier 7 plus. Now, if I look at tier 7, I see basically nothing good here. And what is a good map? It's a map that I can rush the boss really quick, and then I can finish clearing it really quick. Or it's a map with a really good divination card, although the divination card is not going to be a big priority because I'm not juicing the maps at all. I mean, very rarely or a very rare occasion I might get a good divination card. Tier 9, we got Carcass, but the boss rushing is impossible there, so it's a terrible map. Haunted Mansion's in here. Can't remember exactly how hard that map is. I don't think it's great. For trying to rush the boss and finish quickly. But anyway, maybe that's kind of my first candidate here. It's Haunted Mansion. Some of these maps I'm not 100% sure on. Like I haven't ran them in a long time, so you have to bear with me. Undersea, I remember, is thought to be the highest density maps, but the boss rushing is kind of annoying. It's a double phase boss. I don't really want to do that. We do have Crimson Temple here. That's definitely an S tier map. Very good. Yeah, Arcade, actually, I guess would be pretty good. Crimson Temple is very good. Tower has a nurse card, but it can't rush the boss. Let's see if we can connect anything to Crimson Temple. Actually, well, we can't really do like the tier 10 is kind of off limits, though, actually, because of the way, you know, 1 or 2 watchstones. It's either tier 13 or tier 17. It gets smashed down to 16. But anyway, yeah, there's nothing, you know, really great there except like City Square. We do have City Square, and well, actually, yeah, we got like Colonnade and stuff. I remember now. So before I made this video, what I came up with is probably what's most likely to happen is I'm probably going to go one watchstone because, of course, I was very excited to see where Mausoleum was. Mausoleum, like Jungle Valley, is a map, one of the only 2 maps in the map pool that do not spawn boss altars before you kill the boss. Therefore, you don't need to kill the boss. You don't need to rush the boss. You can get premium clearing for Exarch Altar farming that way. You can just ASAP start killing stuff right away. Feel good about it. Spawn the influence. Start spawning altars, and they're always good altars with minion options on them. Mausoleum's also a big figure 8. Very easy to clear. It is extremely good map for this kind of strategy. So it would be nice to build a strategy around this map. So let's see what kind of options we have. I think the best options come down 1 tier below. If I ran 1 watchstone, I would have tier 14 here and tier 15 here, just like currently with Jungle Valley and Beach. Now we don't have Beach, but we got Coves. Coves I would have to get used to with the layout. The boss can spawn in a random spot, but that is a fast map. You can definitely clear that map really fast. I'd have to get used to seeing where the layout and the landmarks for the boss on there, though. We also have City Square. I'm not sure about City Square. I heard it has pretty low density. I'd have to look back into that. Colonnade is a personal favorite of mine. I do like it. A lot of people don't like it. It's a little weird to rush the boss. The boss is actually really hard if your build can't zerg him down very well. But I do like it, and it would drop Patient card. And Patient card is kind of a somewhat valuable card and common enough that I would actually see that card, you know, periodically doing this strategy without any divination card, strongbox, nothing. So we've got Coves, Colonnade, and City Square kind of on my radar. There's a decent chance that one of those three will be connected adjacent to Mausoleum. So that's really cool. Up above, or at least tied, which I don't know if I'm going to do tied because that might be an issue with drop rates. But we do have Sulfur Vents. Sulfur Vents is pretty nice. I do like Sulfur Vents. I don't think any of the other ones are good. We've got some pretty awful maps otherwise. Tier 13, one above. So this would be a Tier 15 Mausoleum, Tier 16. All of these maps are terrible. All those are absolutely terrible. So I wouldn't want to run any of those for boss rushing. Yeah. As far as the natural maps, we do have Mud Geyser is nice, and Infested Valley. I'm trying to remember what that one. Definitely not Cyber, not either. Let's see. I don't know. I can't quite remember Reef and Fungal Valley. I do like Mud Geyser. It'd be kind of cool. It would be advantageous to have a Watchstone in, though, because each Watchstone does increase the amount of, higher tier maps as well. So best case scenario would be 2 Watchstones. But it looks like what's going to happen is I'm going to do 1 Watchstone. I'm going to do Mausoleum, and then probably either, honestly, it's probably going to be Coves. I think that I would be really happy if we can do like Mausoleum and Coves. But, Mausoleum and Colonnade or Mausoleum and City Square would be pretty nice. I don't know. What do you guys think? Any quick comments in the chat here? Would that be a pretty good bet? I think it's going to go well. Well, anyway, that's it. That is my strategy. So there you go. I got the Atlas done here. That will be linked in the description. And then I have the tier list of maps, but we don't have the Atlas yet. I think we literally have to wait until the league is launched. Of course, I do have filters that will be linked in the description below. They're going to be broken, I'm told. At least, according to the announcements here, it said the filters are going to be broken. So let's go back up here. Yeah, item filter information. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. We may have broken filters to deal with, but oh well. They had to change the programming on it anyway. All right, so there you go. We'll end the video there. That is my grand no investment Atlas farming strategy from start to finish, beginning the process of unlocking the Atlas all the way to equipping a Mage Blood. There you have it. That's what's going to happen. So we will revisit this, hopefully in, I guess, not a few weeks, but in a few days, preferably, to see if I indeed followed through with this plan. Here's hoping.